If you were watching before, you'll see it's a different location to where we were before. I've moved house, moved out of London now. Just out myself. My window there is a very dark Oxford, slightly silvery, very quiet. And I'm just kind of emerging from all the pell-mell of the move. We've still got boxes to unpack, we've still got stuff. It's a hugely emotive experience, not only just for moving house, always a stressful thing and a transformative thing in many ways, but of course we were leaving my late mother's house, so in some ways it felt a wrench, but also a release. My brother, my son and myself, all living here now in this house on the south side of Oxford. That sense of being somewhere else, and I don't mean physically, I mean sort of emotionally or mentally, when you somehow feel absent from relating to the rest of the world. There's just so much going on. Relates in a little bit to the types of poems that I've been writing recent, many of which are steeped in folklore and fairy lore, with tales of people travelling into another world or returning from another world or encountering creatures from another world which is also our world. And we might speak of them as fairy, we might speak of them as ghosts, especially at this time just past Halloween. And there's a bit of a conundrum for me, and you might be able to help, because on the surface you might say, oh, poems about fairies, poems about ghosts, that's all very twee and lovely, very storytelling. But as with folklore and folk song, there's a reality lodged in this root. And that's not talking about the possible existence or not of such wee folk, such kindly ones, such invisible beings sitting on our shoulders, but of ourselves and our own consciousness and those creatures that live in the shadows of our mind, or just in the corners of our awareness, just beyond what we're conscious of. Or that thing that is still there, even though we don't know about it. And the occasional nod or recognition of that, I think, is a very helpful thing. Hi Saz, thank you for joining. I hope you're good. Hope you enjoyed these poems. It's been 5 minutes, I should start, shouldn't I? I've said a little bit there about contacting other worlds, contacting, as each of us reach out to someone else, speak to someone else, we're contacting a whole other world of another person, of their life and experience. So as I say, these poems are largely touching on folklore and fairy lore, on the world just beyond the bright and shining line. And I'll begin with this one, called A Hidden Gate, which tells its tale over a few little episodes. There is a gate down by Fallow's barn, rarely spoke of, little marked, but hinges on it gleam as new, and when it's opened, I spied it first on a holy day, my mother's hand pulling me to church, my father stepping on my heels. I heard a laugh, turned my head, too slow. But coming home, confessed and shrived, my parents crossing, sister pressing berries to my lips. There were children all in green, swinging in their caps, bums high, shoes curled, with eyes and smiles more than most. We came this way, Marie and I, picking fruit, but more to share berries of our own. Her buttons stained with blue, mine lost to the ground. I saw one snatched, thrown to catching hands beyond the gate, soft hands, bright as cloud. And I was scolded, Marie finding little joy, and all her treasures barely making motion in me. The gentle clunk of a latch, louder, something closed. More berries, I said. She threw them in my face. The smith, my master, brought me here, still sweating from the forge, to fit a bolt that was not needed, commissioned by the law. The awl was blunt, the fittings would not take, the gate resisted. Soon he fell to sleep. A wedding party passed. Marie and strapping Tom passed, quite ignored. I and a snoring smith, a tussock on the ground. A breeze felt, as if a world opened. Soft hands, bright as cloud, calling, like a pool. Waking to a pealing bell, a gate beside a covered tussock overlooks a road. A smell of fire in the air, a roar goes by, a stream of smoke, birds left to choke, berries coloured grey. Marie and Tom, carved in stone. The church seems tired now. Mother and father lain together. I have a memory of hands that against the fall of hours rattle, rattle, bones and stones. Those who were there when I disappeared. I sat beside that gate, a night, a day, a night, till lovers coming by I made retreat, thought I might enter in again, or lie here as the church roof falls in, solid for the first time. That otherness of world, wealthy as a heart, as real as every beat, and each forgotten. And what is put aside as you hang in air, in soft hands, bright as cloud? What is put aside? Where do we go when we disappear? I think we all must have experiences of that, of being, I wasn't here for a minute, where was I? What's changed? That wasn't like that before. Where was I? And where am I now? An encounter now. A poem is called The Groom's Remorse, of meeting someone on the road and a choice made as to which road you'll follow. The Groom's Remorse. Will you dance with me here in the fields, Davy? Will you dance with me tonight? This is the eve of my wedding, fine lady. I must meet my bride in the morning light. Will you dance with me under the moon, Davy? Will you hold me here in your arms? I must meet my love in the church, dear lady, and keep her from harms. Will you close my eyes with a kiss, Davy? Will you press my lips with your own? I've oaths to swear to the priest, kind lady, and a wife to bring home. Will you drop my cloak to the floor, Davy? Will you weigh me down to the ground? There is gold glowing over your skin, my lady, but I cannot go down. I've a bride that awaits at the altar, my lady, and I must be true to my promise. Then go your way to your chosen Davy and see what you miss. The church was empty when I came, my bride nowhere to be seen. When I found her again, she was already wed to a farmer, lives over the green. She'd waited, she said, till the sun had set, and the food all cold for the feast. No sign of the road of a husband-to-be promised from the east. And I arrived too late in the day, though I had not tarried on the moor. The priest had parcelled the altar away and barred the door. I have come to ask you to say, my lady, was it you who swung the knife at my answering no to your kind desire and stole my life? Or was it myself, in wandering slow, in battle with fate, brought me heart heavy out of the east to the church and my wedding too late? The Groom's Remorse. I hadn't decided what order to do these in. Yeah, but I think there's one that would follow well from that one. And that one is this one called Faery Love. They dress in sky colours, cloud, and in fabrics you'd fall into. Little touches of he or she, your favourites. And they stand alone by silver bark and shimmer, where the earth swells enough to discourage the casual climber. There's only ever just the one, with their hair alive to air and lightness, sometimes leaning, or else reclining on a stone. And they watch. Often you will not notice sun being like reflected, eyes being like reflected sun. Those strange moments when you feel beautiful. So that being of a time that passes and of a place that's set doesn't seem a mortal burden. And you can marry and never count the cost. Just, they were the other one you wanted. Of the hearth, of the wild. Stood alone in colours, just impossible to reach. There's something of, I don't know, what is it? Hope, desire, intangible longing, fixed in our one and only life, entertaining thoughts of all those others that might have been. A fair few of these have been inspired by my reading recently. I've been reading about folklore and belief in elves in pre-Christian times. And there's one story that inspired this one. It's one of those many stories where somebody travelling helps a dejected stranger, only to find that later on in the tale they've helped a fairy or a witch or a fairy or some kind spirit. And this particular story, there was the echo in the person's mind as they walked away, "Fare you well, dearest beloved." And that sparked this poem, The Call of Love. There is a stream runs through these hills, like fairies on horseback. Fare you well, dearest beloved. And trees that stand as trumpeters in strands, cheeks blown, dancers among them. Fare you well, dearest beloved. Scarp sides in a bowl-like embrace, overlooking like Mama and Papa. Fare you well, dearest beloved. Small birds tugging at my hem for me to listen. There is a way the sky seems asleep on the field, hare and fox shedding fur together. Fare you well, dearest beloved. There is a way the red earth flows this morning, kind to my feet, holding my hand. Fare you well, dearest beloved. There is a way that the growing things have opened, over a threshold, under a lintel. Fare you well, dearest beloved. I was kind to them as I travelled. I wish I could go back. Fare you well, dearest beloved. I have 7 more that I could read. I don't know if I will read them all. Wondering which to offer you next. This one, I think, which occurred to me whilst sitting in a silver tree. We stood alone. It didn't stand alone, it stood amongst a throng of other trees, but there was something about it that made it outstanding. And just sitting at this root of this tree, I imagined falling through into what world there was below. And it's called Falling In, at the base of a silver tree. It's nice in here, cozy, earthy, watching the mushroom lights, lattice and shine. Don't know why I didn't come here before. Everything behind me never seen before. The tusks and trunks, pointy chins, tridents for fingers, green riddles for skin. All the quietest voices in the world. I'd say I've no energy here, though. I feel like I'm buzzing too heavily. Gasp is a way of being. If I become rock, I might be gentle enough for moss to trust me. If I become falling leaf, if I cease to become. All the ribs in the bark were keys to me. Felt myself slipping through like sun. They keep welcoming me here, though I leave when you call. There are curls here that remind me of you. They accept me like you accept light. I think your fingers would bring me back, taking my invitation. This one with many legs brings me a drink. This one with wings brings a jolly embrace. This one offers a space in the corner. Further in, so kind they sing. And I only become louder. Just as the rain gives me shape. I think they might want me because I love you. Might bring you with me one day. one more, I think. Some of the other ones are a touch darker, touching on the dead and speaking to the dead. But we're very much in fairyland at the moment, so I was reading about elves and pre-Christian beliefs in elves. It seems like in the oldest literature they were mainly men or male, but there was something, a beauty, a glamour about them, an elf shine, which later got applied to men and women, but initially it seems it was only to men. Same men, we're talking elves. This is called Elf. He can have a tender hand, strength restrained, like a friend with you, not fixing you. I fall into it gradually, as water fills a hollow from below, not knowing the end to surrender. And I turn to his face in inches, touch of stubble, lips much softer than mine, kisses where I've bitten. His eyes a mirror clear, daring my reflection to jump in, so the thorn I'm suspended on hurts like condensation. This is the wealth in my heart he is handing me. Leaning back onto his chest, moved by his breath, by the slight chuckle of stomach, I wonder if I might stir other movement, lower. Can I surrender that much? Enter the forest. There are trees. They have spaces in between them.